really good all-ins on the Darius, but speaking of all-ins.
Up all in, Root's gonna land, Ultimate's gonna come through, Vex is gonna get the fear, and that's gonna be Barbiturate dropping as a really good roam from the side of Cavalry, finding it as a good Prism from the side of Wednesday. Isn't gonna come out too much, but now Mewtwo's gonna be in a little bit of trouble, forced to walk away. PJ Salt's gonna walk in. That's gonna be the good flag and drag that's gonna find Cavalry, first one to drop. They're still hitting it, so the R's gonna be committing. There is no smite available, so can they outsmite the Veigar? He's gonna get it, and Veigar's gonna steal it. Wednesday grabs it with the ultimate coming through, forced the flash out of Tef, and Godix Anime does give his life, but the Baron is jacked by the Veigar. Yeah, you basically hoping. Here comes Godix Anime looking for another gank, and Warleader is going to be the one trapped into the pit. A bunch of damage onto the Jarvan. Lulu ultimate's forced out. This is fighting into the corridor, but everyone's getting into the corridor with the ultimate from Twitch, who is going to get taken down by Kiri, but a bunch of damage following through the war.
The question is, will that stay the same? And Wednesday.
Oh, here we go, and this is instantly dead. Flash out. Tef forced to flash away. Godix Anime, and Barbiturate gonna find it. One shot Tef with the ultimate, and now that's gonna be Kiri, first one to drop. All the ultimates are gonna be there. Barbiturate's gonna flash out, still managing to be alive. Cowrie's gonna get knocked up, and PJ Salt's gonna grab it. So now this is the final push. Cowrie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to FOF's Heroic League. I'm Isaac Raptera Chandler, joined by the ever-lovely Marcus Found Jordan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I really enjoyed this. You just called me lovely. I'm just going to whip my hair back and forth real quick. And it's really fantastic that I get to see the first game I'm actually going to be casting as a color caster. I get to have my boy Slowro, returning champion, being back in the league. So I'm really excited to see him play again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Slowbro play too. I'm excited for his new lineup in general. I think there's some very strong talent on this team. But speaking of returning teams, YUBI got some changes in their lineup. We see Build a Pony and Redden for the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as their name dictates, these guys are like the best people to buy stock into. They basically are always solid. I think Red and Build a Pony aren't going to be massive differences in play style. I know that they didn't really play around top anyway, so you'd be heading into the bot lane directions where they already wanted to be anyway, and Build a Pony is a very good support. So I'm still pretty confident that they're going to be basically at the level they were last year, and it's just going to be whether the other teams manage to upgrade themselves.
Yeah, and they've got a good start off already, picking the strongest, I think, AD carry in the game right now in the Zeri. I think that's a very solid start. Surprised they can get banned, honestly. But we'll have to see what they're going to drag out here. Do you think they go for support here, or maybe mid or jungle?
I would hope they would round this out with their support, but it is pretty smart to also go for the Zilean. I think Zilean is a very good pocket pick if both your mid and your support can play it. Very versatile. And we've all seen how well Bjergsen has been pulling it out, being one of the unbeatable Demon King on it. And the team comp is a little bit weird so far, with Urgot making his weirdly shaped ugly face in the draft. But I honestly do like seeing this old school matchup, because this used to be one of the most popular top lane matchups in the game when it was just the Urgot and R meta. Yeah,
it's a pretty interesting matchup we got going there. And I like to see Zilean. I don't know if you know this, but he has been confirmed to be the strongest champion in League of Legends, especially in terms, well, just in general, he's the strongest champion. But do you know why they've never nerfed him?
More than likely it's because that I know he has a very high skill ceiling, so he does tend to be very skill intensive, and his abilities, while extremely annoying, I mean, no one plays him, so it's really difficult to nerf him.
That's the reason right there, is because nobody plays him. They said, if I remember correctly reading about it back in the day, it was because after 10 games, most people dropped playing him, no matter how much win rate they had. And that's why Zilean has got to remain in his very strong state as he is. And like you said, good flex. You can play either position really well. I think it's going to come down to, though, what picks for their support. If it's a heavy engaged support, probably going to see that flex back to mid. If it's something maybe like a Soraka or a Senna, I assume we'd probably see it down there. But Viego coming out here, that's a pretty solid pick. for
Yeah,
jungle.
absolutely. Viego being the biggest wild card jungler at the moment, he always has the potential to pop off, and he's generally pretty consistent for what he offers. And just so everyone knows, me and Raptor are not joking. Zillion is extremely busted, and if you do want to win a couple more solo queue games, he is a good champion to pick up, and basically no matter which lane you're playing him in. And Yumi has always been that team that kind of has the big versatility in the draft, and it looks like they're going to continue with it, having Nami being selected up. This is a really interesting comp that we've been seeing appear a lot in Korea with the Nami Zeri, because the the auto attacks do synergize very well with the Tide Caller Blessing.
Yeah, and really easy to get away, very easy to escape. And I mean, Zeri's already super mobile, but you've got the bubble, you've got the tidal wave, and it's just very, very solid kind of position to run with that. Also, the W coming off of it is very strong too. And they're rounding it out with the Volley Bear. So this is a pretty standard, I think, team fight comp, I would say. It's very much about protecting the Zeri, keeping her alive as long as possible. But they've got a good front line to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but if I had to pick draft wins, I don't really like UB's composition. I think their draft is very disjointed in how it's going to act, putting all of this support and utility onto Zeri. I mean, Zeri is more of a mobility, being very difficult to catch and trying to get out a little bit, tiny bits of sustained damage. She's not extremely burst heavy. And when you consider that she's going to have to do basically 80% of the damage this game with 3 supports, and Volibear being just a meat shield and Urgot being an execute bot, I mean, that's a lot of pressure to put on Jeff God Gamer, and I think it might be pretty difficult with all the CC and range coming out from the side of Art of Esports.
I think that's true, but as we know, if there's any AD carry in this league who can pull a solo carry, it's Jeff. He has done it before. Let's see if he can do it again as we roll on into the game. YUBI versus Awe. Let's get underway here, and already seeing a reconnect.
Absolutely. Hopefully that's just going to be a minor pause. It looks like it's already moving, so that pause was resolved at the beginning of the game. And with Team All coming out, I mean, this team has the most consistency out of any team. I believe they're the only one where every member has All in their names, and I do like that. A little bit of style coming in, and this is going to be a face check already.
Yeah, early face check. He's just going to walk out, though, but here comes Slowbro. Gets the first bit of damage. Awe takes the lead. Little tiny boomerang right there.
Slowbro pamming his damage numbers. Want to make sure he's at the top of the leaderboards. One more time.
Gets another boomerang, but the return from Red.
Looks like they're about evened out with that passive auto attack.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Red joining the team. So he's a very recent addition. He only joined the roster a couple days ago, and just issues. Unfortunately, Mr. Chunks wasn't able to play. And I think that's really interesting because I know Red for the longest time when he was on BBZ was competing with YUBI, like they were going head to head all the time. So it's interesting to see him join what I would argue was BBZ's rival, with BBC now gone.
Yeah, absolutely. He just him taking over that top lane position shows how much versatility he has as a player. Though he's been top mid and AD in this league, and he's always managed to maintain some type of basically a decent level of consistency. I've been really happy to see how he's managed to grow, and even though he is adopting the colors of an enemy, I mean, I think he is going to be a very good, decent, and it's a really good pickup being able to find himself on a new roster.
Yeah, we've seen in pro play players, they rotate to a new position, they just come alive, and I believe Red could do it. I want to see if he eventually ends up pulling almost a Huni, ends up in every position in the league.
Oh, he's going to work his way. He only has 2 more to go.
Yeah, he's only got 2. Jungle and support, the best positions. As we're seeing, speaking of supports, a little bit of trade right there coming out. Bill the Pony onto Vionis. And it's pretty safe right now. No one making anything crazy going on. No, everyone's just trying to just set the pace, see how they're going. It is early in the season, so all these teams, they're trying to get a feel for each other a bit, trying to understand what they can expect, how far they can push themselves. And I expect we'll see a bit of limit test, especially from YUBI. They are a team that likes to play very aggressive. I could expect to see, especially early in the season, a lot of limit testing coming out of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. They know how consistent they are, and they know that as long as they make playoffs, they're always going to have a good shot at winning. So I definitely think that they are going to be a team that is going to be kind of up and down when it comes to their win-loss ratio, but they're always going to be trying to learn and actually take things away, as here's going to be the first fight.
Utility Monster going in onto Krim. Civillock here to back him up. Nietsny trying to get a bit of damage in there. They just kind of trade out and walk away. Slowbro going in onto the stun there for Red. Red getting a good push early on in this lane. He's already up double the CS on this Gnar. It's Jeff God trying to get on a Riri.
Yeah, that is going to be the wave going in, though, with the stun landing.
Bill getting stunned up right there, trying to run away, getting hit by the little missile right there, but he's going to get out just fine. Has to burn the flash. And now you got to be careful. Nami doesn't have any mobility, really great at disengaging, but if you are engaged on, it can be a little tricky, as now here comes Crims in the back. On to Bill the Pony. Bill trying to run away, going to get taken down. First blood's going to go over to Crims. Jeff going to get out with his life, but strong early gank coming out of Awe. Good early game from them in general.
Absolutely clean gank on the side of All, getting this the Great Entrance knock up onto the Nami, instantly landing the stun from the Viego. So well done. They did burn 2 flashes on that end, so this is going to be a flash coming out, but nothing really going to happen to Slowbro, as he's going to get a lot of damage in return.
Utility Monster taking so much damage right there. Got to be careful with those dives. Don't have the ult yet, Volibear. Got to wait for that one. But I want to talk a bit about... Okay, I thought Utility was about to die there. But I want to talk a bit about Awe, because this is a team, you know, they've got Slowbro and they've got Oriri, 2 players returning to this season, but the rest of their roster is basically brand new as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone didn't know, before Slowbro was on ATO and he did become the champion, he was on a very, very good team. I cannot remember the name on it, but it was we did kind of poach him from another team that he was on, and they were phenomenal. They actually went undefeated in the league that we played against them in. Fantastic player, and they were always a nightmare to play against as this gank has come through.
Slowbro getting stunned right there by Crim's going to flash out. Good attempt. Trying to get that damage onto Nietsny, and Nietsny baiting it very well. And that might be a return gank if he stays around too long. They're actually staying here, trying to look for something. But I think they're just going to convert that over into a dragon. Zillion backing up. Oh no, they're going to turn it into an invade. And they're just going to take those little raptors away from Utility Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. And just continue on where I left off. So he was on a very, very talented team, went undefeated, really, really strong. So maybe these are his old friends, as it were, and him bringing them back into FOF. And they did make a very fantastic team the last time I saw Slowbro make a team. So I'm really excited to see, because he only tends to play with players he's extremely confident in.
Yeah, and Slowbro, you know, he's a very solid player, and if he's confident in this team, like, I have high expectations for it. I know Oriri was a pretty good support last season, so that's good to see him back as well. And, you know, that was a good attempt right there, and as you saw that, Crim's coming down, looking for trying to fight a gank, trying to put a lot of pressure on this bot lane. You know, if Jinx gets ahead, it can be very difficult for YUBI to come back into this. She can shred through that front line, destroy Red, destroy Utility Monster. There's not really much to stop her. You can tell that's Crim's goal. He's trying to find the pressure. He's trying to find they're just gonna leave his top lane alone. Doesn't have to worry about Slowbro getting picked off a lot. And if you're on the side of YUBI, like how do you respond to that? Where do you go to try to find like some pressure on the map? Try to get things going.
Well, this bot side is always going to be the biggest area of contention. You want to start stacking those dragons as fast as possible. It's a really strong win condition for both these teams, provided it's not a cloud. But it does look like they're putting a lot of pressure on this top side, as an early Rift Herald fight is going to be the first real altercation we're going to see in this game. And with both bot lanes farming and Zillion kind of making it through laning phase without being massively far behind, you got to be happy at least how the early game is transpiring for YUBI.
Yeah, you know, despite being down a kill, they are only down 100 gold. That is a good position to be in. It shows that they're farming very well. Top side, Red getting quite a bit of a lead up here onto Slowbro. So it's going well for them. Yeah, it's a kill, but, you know, it's on Viego. It's not, I mean, it's not something you want him to get snowballing on, but it's not the worst thing. It's not like the kill went over to Jinx, and now Jinx is taking over the bot lane. In fact, she's actually down CS right now. Jeff running with that Sheen is such a good first item onto Zeri. Just, you know, allows her to get so much damage because, you know, just the weird interaction with her Q. If I remember correctly, that does allow it to proc the Sheen, does it not?
Yeah, absolutely. Her Q counts as a basic ability, so it continuously pocs that shield. Here's going to be the smite. This is going to be taken away. Utility Monster is going to grab that up. Really sad for the side of for all having that red buff taken away for free. But yes, so that is why the Trinity Force has been such a big item for the side of this Zeri. The Sheen constantly getting those Sheen props, and then later on in the Triforce Fox, it does translates into a lot of damage. It just ends up being her best mythic item.
Yeah, it's a great mythic item. You know, Zeri's a great champion, but Dragon going over the way of Awe, Cloud up next. So we've got either Mountain, Ocean, or Hextech. For those of you who haven't got to play that much this season, we're only a little bit into it. Hextech being the newest Dragon. I'm kind of hoping we get to see it. It's my personal favorite soul. I think it allows for so many creative plays on the map. But you got the little Herald here for YUBI. It looks like they're going to try to drop it top. 3 rotating up here. I think they're going to try to go down onto Slowbro right here. Try to take this turret.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely. Even if they were going to make that attempt, you don't dive into Mega Gnar, but here comes
Jeff
the fight
got
bot side.
fighting Oriri right there. Pops the ult, but here comes Crims. Jeff tried to kite back. Hits the ult from Bill. Going forward to go to get to Oriri, but has to flash back to get away from Crims. Trying to fight Vionis. He's doing so much damage. Crims trying to get away. The bubble comes down, and Vionis gets the kill onto Jeff. Bill trying to run away now, but he's going to go down. Not a double, but a kill over to Oriri. 2-0 in favor. Oh, actually, I guess they did get Crims. They pick off Crims there at the end. So 2-1 in favor of Awe, but they are losing plates on the top side right now.
Yeah, that's going to be Slowbro getting zoned out for quite a long time, unable to collect all those farm and minions. But on the other end, I mean, really well done from the side of Jeff God Gamer, getting a bunch of damage out, almost able to cut it out, get the 2v3 outplay. But them getting punished is really sad. Now, they do need to be concerned because they know that Viego can be coming up, and then they're going to be unable to continuously play this aggressively.
Oh, that flash in, going in onto Slowbro. Slowbro trying to get away, gets the ult in. YUBI going to take him down, but oh, he does not get him in time. Red's going to get taken out. Crim's going to pick him up. Here comes Oriri. The utility monster got her on. He's flashing out to get away, but the ult coming in from the Rakan. Slowbro's going to pick up the kill. 2-0 there, and YUBI stays a little too long and gets a little too confident in themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. How unfortunate for YUBI. Unable to get the execute from the ultimate, and when that doesn't come through, the Nargis is able to kite it out and make sure he stays alive. So good roam on the side of Oriri, getting up to that top side also, really punishing that over-aggressive. And that basically gives away a lot of the gold advantage that they had picked up on that top side, getting so many plates split between the two of them.
Yeah, now they're down only about 1,200 gold after all is said and done. You know, they're breaking a couple more plates to kind of even that out, but this is, kills getting spread around the team right now. Viego getting pretty big, 2-1 in 3 right now. Crim's just all over the map, making so many plays for his team, being so effective on this Viego, and utility monster, he really needs to step it up and find some place he can make a little bit of pressure on. Maybe come bot and try to pick off that Jinx. I'm not sure if top is the place you want to focus.
Absolutely. He's been putting a lot of focus on this top side. And it's interesting because this hasn't been a way that we typically see YUBI play, putting so much emphasis into red. Especially now that you know that Jeff God Gamer is a little bit far behind. He is not going to have his mythic completed while on the opposite side the team... Themes is going to have it, so a big advantage on the side of this bot side. And considering the dragons are going to be coming up, they're going to need to be fighting for those in another minute and a half. Given all this emphasis topside, even though this first tower is going to come over, it's going to go to the Urgot, and that's kind of diminishing returns when you come with how much value it's going to offer.
Yeah, Urgot, he's going to do a bit of damage, but he kind of falls off later in the game. He's going to build tankier after his first 1 or 2 items, and, it's good to get gold get him to those breakpoints quicker, but like you said, they need to get this gold onto Jeff. Jeff needs to be the carry for this team, and I agree. It feels weird. I'm not used to seeing YUBI put pressure top. Maybe, like we said earlier, they are trying to limit test. Maybe they're trying to see how far they can play through top lane in these kind of scenarios. Maybe testing that out, see if they can play a carry. But if you're going to do that, I think you need to do something like a Jace or... I don't know, maybe an Aatrox, something that can just do a little bit more damage and be a little bit more of a threat in a fight. There's now Utility Monster coming down here. Crims is here to match, though, reading Utility Monster like a book. Utility, I think they all are kind of aware that they're each here. Bill gonna go forward, try to start this off. Riri going in, the ult coming through, grabbing onto Zeri. Krim's gonna stun him up, but here comes Utility Monster. The ult coming in from Civillock does save Jeff, but down goes Bill the Pony. They're going forward. Krim's though picking the Nami, maybe not the best choice to take. Utility Monster gonna take him down. Jeff gonna escape just with his life, but the ult, it's still not up yet. Did get used in that fight. They're going to walk away 1-for-1, but I would say that's in favor of Aw. That was a 3v4, and now Red on the top side fighting Slowbro, getting pretty low right here. I think Slowbro's going to take him out and just slams him with the Lucha Ring and picks up another kill, making that 3-for-1 2-for-1 in favor of Aw.
Yeah, absolutely. What a disaster for the side of Team YUBI. Barely coming out with a 1v1 on the bot side and using a lot of your ultimate engine utility and just giving free gold and waves over to a Victor, and then a solo kill for the Gnar, who had been really far behind, and that hasn't translated into an easy advantage for the Urgot. So and you just have to be really concerned for how this mid to late game transition is going to be occurring for the side of YUBI. They don't really outscale, so giving over these kills for free is really, really punishing for their game state moving forward.
Yeah, they're just letting Aw take quite a bit right there. I think, even with the Zillion ult, they still came close to a lot of people dying there. One pop off from Jinx, want to get excited, could have easily let her just tear through that squad. They've got to be a little bit more careful with those plays. I don't know if, the Nami going forward is the call there, but Red trying to stop Slowbro from backing. He's going to try to take another round with him here. He did get to back and buy his item, but here comes Krims. Doesn't see him. Red goes all the way in, though. Krims trying to get onto him. Slowbro going in. He's going to get chained up. It's going to be Ground Gnar tonight. The shutdown coming through for Red, as now YUBI is onto the dragon. They know Krims is on the top side. It's going to be a free take for them. Cloud going down, and the soul's going to be Mountain Drake.
Absolutely, really aggressive on the side of Team Red, taking on the side of Red taking that fight. Really dangerous on the side, because that could have easily been outplayed. Sobro does flash the knock up, then there is no real follow up for Urgot afterwards. But a good kill picked up. The fear does get him collected away also. So well done on the side of coming back a little bit from what he had given over. But honestly, the advantage has really neutralized in the top side.
All right, let's take a look back here at that dragon take. Seeing it go down, pretty safe. Civillock rotating just to be safe here. And I've just realized we haven't seen much of Nietsny coming through in this game. He's been kind of chilling in the mid lane, farming along, not really been interacting with anything. The only person not to have an assist, a kill, or a death in this game. But it is a Victor, and that's scaling. That's also something you got to be worried about if you're on the side of YUBI. If you can take out the Jinx, that's fine. But if Victor stays alive, a little dicey there.
Absolutely. Victor's strength is really good against what Zillion's strength is, which Zillion...
Jeff going in onto Vionis. They missed the ult for Bill. Gets the kill, though. Bill gonna die. Jeff gonna go down. A double kill for Vionis. Oh my god. Takes the 1v2 and comes out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Really interesting decision. The auto attacks kind of being blocked up by the tower a little bit on the side of Jeff God Gamer. Unable to finish off the Jinx, and then feeding 2 kills over to this late game scaling AD carry. A lot to be concerned about as Red's going for another fight.
Yeah, he is trying to take down Slowbro, trying to get him low to get the ult down, but he's going to get stunned up, going to get knocked down, and he's not going to get back up again. Slowbro picks up the kill. Krim's going to convert himself into the Urgot, and they're going to try to push this down. It's starting to get looking a little, what's the word? Tilt or like desperate. Yeah. It's looking some desperation plays coming out of YUBI, and they're not that far behind. It feels like they don't need to be making these plays. They need to slow down. Utility Monster, though, going in onto Slowbro. He's trying to pull a Red here, gets the ult to go in. Civillock is here to help him out, to help him level. Okay, that was a fight. Not much really happened there. Interesting plays all around. Turret almost going down. I think Vionis is just going to take this right here. There's not really much they can do to stop it. The Volibear is low. It's just a Zillion. That turret's going to go down with a gentle breeze as another turret falls for Aw. They're just making plays all around the map right now.
Absolutely. There's a lot of resources that were just burned from the side of this Volibear for a kill he didn't get. That's going to be the flash ultimate taken away, and there was going to be no way to defend the tower after that. So Yeah, this another play from Yubi that, as you said earlier, does look desperate. Does look like they're kind of disjointed as the early game and didn't go as the way they expected, and now they're kind of just feeding kills across the map and bleeding out. And with this Victor just sitting in the bot lane, collecting up more and more CS, now opening up a 22 CS lead. I mean, you got to be really concerned because as I was trying to say earlier, the main advantage of Victor is his AoE damage, and Zillion is worse against AoE damage. He likes single target damage. He likes someone to be isolated and get a lot of value out of his ultimate. But if everyone's dying at once, I mean, that's like the worst team fight for a Zillion to be in.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, you just want the one target to die so you can revive them. It's like a Renata. You know, you see a Renata come in. Actually, you do need a Renata if you want more than one. But yeah, UB, they're down 3K gold, closing in on 4K right now. That's a lot of gold. Most of it honestly is on Vionis right now. I think if we saw her gold, she's probably up about, I don't know, 1,500 gold. I would say maybe 2,000. She's getting pretty scary, and it's only going to get worse. Same with this Victor. We haven't even seen him come into the fight yet. You have seen just slowly building up, slowly waiting for his moment to strike. And Utility Monster could have probably made a play there, but I guess they don't want to do a second round of dive the turret. But, they did get at least a turret, so they're getting some gold back in this.
Yeah, absolutely, and Victor is going to be a hard target to dive if they're paying attention. He has a stopwatch available, he has flash available, and cleanse, so you're not going to be able to keep him pinned underneath the tower. So really good decision to not dive it. Red was able to grab the tower anyway, so they did get what they wanted, but as the gold lead being almost 3K can expand into that direction in just a short order. I mean, this is not where UB wanted to be in this mid game, and there's 1 minute until this dragon, which you have to expect that they're going to be looking to fight for, or at least try to trade it for another objective somewhere else in the map.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a win condition right now for UB. Getting that Mountain Soul, letting the Urgot and the Volibear just getting incredibly tanky, getting those shields to help them survive just long enough to take them out. They were coming pretty close in some of those fights. On the bottom side, they just a little bit more, and then maybe could have pushed through and taken it. Maybe if they were feeling a little more comfortable with the big shield. So I think we could see them play for it as the teleport does come out of Civilock. Everyone coming out for this dragon. This might be our first big team 5v5 team fight of this game. Taylor Monster clearing out some vision. They're trying to gain control on the side of UB around this bottom half of the river. But Slowbro on the back, they don't know he's there. I think they're just now spotting him on the ward. Yep, they see the ping coming down. Slowbro has got them. They're sandwiched in. They're trying to fight Utility Monster going forward, though. Going to get stunned up by Crims. And here comes Oriri with the ult. Jeff got having to flash out there. Utility Monster going forward. He's going to get taken down. He's going to get revived by Civilock, though. They're looking for a play. Red keeping Slowbro there off on the side. Ooh, everyone getting so slow. Red getting taken down, and he's going to go down. Vienna's going to pick up the kill. Now they're going to go forward onto Civilock. Civilock got to run away. Nietsny picks up his first kill, first interaction of the game onto his opponent, and a 2-0 in favor of Awe. UB trying to force something right there, but just couldn't get onto that back line.
Yeah, absolutely. Diving past the tower, unable to get it, and now here's a pick on the side for Utility Monster.
Yeah, the Utility trying to get out of there. Oriri and Slowbro just chasing him down. He's getting slowed up, getting knocked down, and Oriri going forward, gets the flash, gets the knock up. Oriri gonna just barely live, and it's looking a little dire here for Yubi. It's the longer this goes on, the more nervous I'd be getting if I was a fan of them, which I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And ooh, that chill on the Jinx not coming through. Now Slowbro getting the chase down.
Slowbro just 1v2. He doesn't fear the fish, doesn't fear the little sparky Pikachu with the guns. Just going forward. Very tanky right now. We only have one item done for Jeff God. We have the Triforce, but we don't have anything else. And there's a lot of armor already on this Gnar. It's going to be very difficult for them to break through, especially, like their AP damage is just Civilock. And, a Cillian isn't like major sustained damage, is more bursty. It's not good if you're getting 1v2 already by Gnar.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 minutes onto the clock, 34 seconds. The game should be slowing up, at least if after this gank on Civillock does not end up working out. So if anyone's either eager for more FOF content, we have so much more available. We're doing so much this season to really elevate these players to the next level. So check out the FOF newsletter that has more information on the league, the returning players, some champions in the Hall of Fame. So we have so much more to look at. So please, if you have some time, take some more moment to take a look at everything else that we're producing.
Yeah, the magazine looks pretty hype. Like, it is just beautiful. The work they put into that every day. Like, I see them working on the pages. They're gorgeous. My goodness. I wish I had that level of magazine editing skills.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're just lowly casters. You know, one day we'll be able to contribute something to the artistic creativity of this league.
I'll draw the league winners stick figures. There we go. Just little stick figures with their little logo, with a very poorly drawn paint logo of theirs. That'll be the new winners art. Meanwhile, though, YUBI finally getting out from their base and getting to reassert some vision control around this Baron. It's going to be a pretty big objective. I could see them trying to fight over this, but it's going to be hard. They're down almost 6,000 gold at this point, about 5,500. Just looking incredible this game. Looking so much different than yesterday, and I think that's really good. I think it's really exciting now. You know, if continues at this pace and wins it, you know, that's two teams that lost on day one coming back to win the day after against heavy favorites. I think that's really exciting. It's really exciting to see the league be more competitive like this. I mean, you know, every season's pretty competitive, but there's always a team that just seems like they dominate the season. They always look like they're smashing everybody just from the get-go. So far, though, you know, it's feeling a lot more back and forth. It's feeling like the teams are a lot closer this season. I think that makes for more exciting games like this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we always return with a bang, and having an increased level of competition is not only great for everyone who's working on the project, but for the fans who enjoy these teams and really like to follow their favorite players. So, I mean, I personally excited to see how this is going to continue to go, see if the underdog teams are going to continue to find their way. And Team All is a team I was very confident in, even though they had lost the first day. I do believe that they have so much talent on their roster so that they can bounce back. So, I mean, them taking it to YUBI and being in this big of an advantageous position so far at the 24-minute mark, I'm not super surprised. I think they always had this potential within them.
Yeah, but you know, as we know, leads don't mean everything. I mean, we have seen teams come back from a 20k lead at 20 minutes, so you know this isn't that lead. So there is still a chance for YUBI. There is still a chance.
Someone blew a 20k lead.
Yeah, G2 against Misfits the other day.
I think that was 10k. That wasn't 20.
No, they were up to almost 20k by the 20-minute mark.
All right. I'm gonna have to look that up. But,
so they always believe, no matter how far you are down, folks, always believe you can win. Unless all your kills are on Yuumi, then you might be in a little bit of trouble.
I mean, Yuumi does have good AP ratio, so just build AP Yuumi and you'll be fine.
Just one-shotting the 80 carry with a Yuumi. That would actually be hilarious to see. I would pay to see that. Pentakill on a Yuumi. If a team pulls that off this season, I will give each of them $100 if they pull a pentakill on Yuumi.
You heard it here first, baby. $100 from the Rap Kench himself if you manage to pull off a pentakill on Yuumi. Get to work.
Yeah. And that's not for just one person. That's the entire team. The entire team will get $100 each.
I mean, well, maybe the first team to pick Yuumi will be Yumiverso Basic Income, who, surprisingly enough, even though Yuumi is in their name, they actually rarely pick Yuumi. I believe they only picked it twice in 2 seasons, so
that's true.
Not one of their most popular champions.
Speaking of YUBI, they are finding a pick right here, going forward. The ult's coming through. Oriri going into the backline pretty quick. Utility Monster going forward. He's going to have to flash out, though. The ult coming in from the Vic. They're all getting very low. A shutdown onto Oriri, but what's it going to cost him? Civillock going forward. Takes out the fish. Utility Monster trying to hold something there, but he's going to go down, too. Crim6 getting the heal up. Red trying to get out of there, getting taken out. Vionis is excited and going to run away. And a fight started by YUBI ends once again with them limping away as Odd takes another win. They're going to take this dragon and they're going to take 1 point away, putting themselves on the stall point from the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's getting so much advantage from the side of the Sicilian, who is preventing those resets from coming in from Jinx, really slowing down the team fight. But it's just not mattering. At this point, they're so far behind. This is when their composition is supposed to be at its strongest, and they don't have the tools with how accelerated the enemy team composition is. I mean, Jinx is almost to her IE already, and once that happens, the death sentence is already in. It's UB has kind of dug themselves way too deep of a hole to really try to fight their way out of it. I kind of hope at this point they try to look for some alternative win conditions, because just trying to ram their head into team fights is not going to be advantageous for them.
Yeah, and we saw in that fight Slowbro doing so much to keep the way. Like Oruri goes down and Slowbro holds 3 people on his own, just completely holds them away from the rest of his team. And it's just, it's good. They're Oz front to back, like their positioning in these fights is just fantastic. It's really fun to watch. Like I really enjoy seeing it. I love good front to back team fight comps. None of these sneaky play comps, none of these like little crazy things. Just good old fashioned team fighting. Love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. We just saw how much of a struggle it was to try to take down that Meganar when Transform is happening. Good ultimate from Slowbro also that really separated the fight. So once again, this looks like Slowbro is going to look for the all-in here.
Yeah, he is. Red, though, ooh, nice comeback from that throw. Trying to duel out Slowbro. They're just kind of wet noodle fighting each other almost. They're both pretty beefy boys right now. They're just going to waddle away. Nar just going to transform back. Jeff God clearing up the mid lane a bit. Like we said earlier, he needs to be the carry for this team. And he's got 2 items. He's getting really close to his third, so he is catching up. He is actually 40 farm up right now on the Jinx. So that's pretty good despite how far they've been down this game. But it's looking difficult. Even in the fights, like we're seeing him do all that damage, it's not looking like it's enough. And I'm worried if he's gonna, really hit that break point where the Zeri just becomes a menace in this game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate Zeri isn't really the champion for high DPS. She's more like an annoying gnat that is just incredibly difficult to kill, that can consistently get out small amounts of damage while you're chasing her around. But when it comes to like huge burst damage, it's not really her forte. And with Jinx being as strong as she is, like she's gonna get out damaged by Jinx basically every time, especially given the range disadvantage. But that fight bot lane, I don't know if you remember Raptor back in the day, that kind of gave back old memories of Frozen Mallet Gnar, where if you just got hit by an auto attack, you can chase down for the entire length of the map.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was so brutal to do. I miss Frozen Mallet. It was a fun item. Speaking of fun items, I do see that we've got a Thornmail on the Urgot, at least trying something to get a little bit more damage back, kind of sustain a little bit more, reduce a bit of the sustainability this team's got. But Oriri going in onto Utility Monster. Utility Monster has to ult to get out there. Viona's chasing him down. The rocket coming through. Gets really low. A good attempted pick right there, but with that jungler low, I think that's the call to go to the Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. No ultimate from the Volibear. A lot of utility taken away, coincidentally from Utility Monster. So, I mean, it's going to be really difficult for him to get into the pit. They're also going to need to be concerned about the Jinx Craps as the fight's going to be breaking out.
Oriri goes in, goes right back out. Gets about half health. It's going to have to back up. Slowbro has teleported in. Very close to the Meganar. The tidal wave does come through from Bill. Now, Jeff trying to be the sniper here. Trying to cosplay Jhin and look for a pick from over the wall. But they're kind of trapped in this little passageway right here. Now, Utility Monster and Slowbro on the side. Slowbro does transform, looking for something here. If they can wait this out, they might have a chance in the fight. But they're just going to back off. They're not going to risk their lead for a Baron. I think they're just going to wait for this dragon coming up in a minute. They're just going to push the wave out. So YUBI holds the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to avoid the burger flip. I can understand that. There is going to be Soul coming up for you in a minute, and that is going to be more valuable than the Baron anyway at this point. So definitely it's easier to transition the Soul point into the Baron and then try to actually contest it after that stage. So I do like the decision from all showing some... I cannot think of the word, but showing that they... I was going to say there's like a saying, like, what's the better part of valor? So... they're doing that.
Okay, I know what you're saying, and I just can't think of the analogy off the top of my head either. Oriri taking a lot of damage here, already half health ahead of this dragon. Yubi's got the inside track right now, but can they hold it? Can they get this dragon? Can they burst it down fast enough? Aw just going to push through the mid. They're going to go for the Baron. They're going to say, you know what, take the Mountain. It doesn't matter. It's a single Mountain Drake. We're going to get a nice, juicy Baron buff to push with. And I think Yubi's caught on to it. Utility Monster going to finish it up on his own. They do see Aruri clearing the ward. They know they're on their way over, but they're coming pretty slow. Going forward, Jeff is here. Red is here. That Baron is getting incredibly low. And they're going to throw the fight. Jeff, though, takes out Ariri almost immediately. Red flashes forward to get the kill. Slowbro's going to pick up the Baron, and now the fight is on. Can Awe get out of this quick enough? Utility Monster going forward. Goes on to Vionis. Going into the front line, jumping there. Getting picked off right away. Slowbro trying to buy some space, but gets taken out. Now Crimson going forward. Oh, wait. Jeff on the side. Double kill for the Zeri. Triple kill, actually, make that. And now he's tricking Crims. That's pretty disastrous for Awe. That was looking so good, but you gotta keep track of the Zeri.
Absolutely, multiple auto attacks coming through, getting that extra empowered ultimate from the Tide Caller's Blessing, getting the extra damage out, and you saw how big of an impact it is, and then a beautiful ultimate from the side of Civillock, keeping Jeff God Gamer up, and now this is going to allow a bunch of gold to be basically gifted over to the side of Yubi, as even though they did manage to be in a weaker position for the majority of the game, that choice to go for the Baron instead of the Dragon and try to take it that way really led to a punishing team fight that has gotten Yubi basically back into the game.
Yeah, and I think part of that was just Awe disrespecting the amount of damage that the Zeri can do. We thought, you know, is she going to hit that breakpoint? And looks like she has. There isn't a lot of armor on anybody but the but Slowbro. His Gnar is the only thing really tanky, so if Zeri touches anyone else, they're just going to die. They're just going to kind of roll over. Maybe Crims can live a little bit because he's got the death stance and the plated boots, but it's hard to deal with. And now, like, that's a shutdown. That's the first kill onto Victor. That's the first kill onto the at the time 7-0 Jinx. So much gold in the pocket of Jeff, and I think he just full 2-bot items on that back. I'm not sure how much of the cleaver he had. Or no, he had part of the Hurricane. But he bought the Hurricane. He full bought the cleaver on that back. So much gold going to him. And now he's got an item lead on this Jinx. And this could be the moment. If they can find another fight like that, Yui might be able to claw their way back into this game.
Absolutely, a lot of gold collected up on the side of this area. So, I mean, Jeff God is the win condition for this game. So every beat of kill he gets is going to be massive. And they're going to need to really play off of how strong Jeff God is at this moment. Because, Zeri does not scale as well as Jinx. At 6 items, she's just not as valuable as she is in the mid game. This is her strongest point. So they are going to need to try to play around this and actually be able to get some real control back. Because they are still 3,000 gold behind.
Yeah, but I mean, that is down from where they were. I think I saw at one point they were about 7,000 gold down, so they have gotten about a 4K swing from that Baron fight. As Awe looking to try to maybe get a picker. They're going to try to shove this mid wave in. They're going to try to get the pressure onto Yubi. They still have one Baron. They can still siege up with this, and a pause going to come out right now. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like it's just a short minor issue. We'll be back with that very shortly, and we're already back. There we go.
Yep, just a minor delay coming in.
Yeah, and as we watched, Crim's getting really close. If he'd caught Jeff with that, I think that would have been the end of it. I'm not actually. They might have been actually able to end that with the Baron just pushing down, but manages to just get out, and now trying to kind of push a little bit of a siege for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. This game is really going to be into how big of an impact Ariri can make in these team fights. I mean, the last fight, he was basically at 2 HP before the fight started, got instantly one-shot, and was not able to get the quickness or any real significant engage point in. So, as we watch a quick replay of everything that's going on to see this inhibitor take, so we can hopefully get the spectators to work properly. Thank you, Rod Games. And I mean, at this moment, I think it's really going to be on this for Khan to find a really solid engage. I mean, he has the best opportunity to catch Zeri when she's bouncing around.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Ariri to really set up his team for a fight, to set up a pick, and set up a position for Gnar and Viego to get in there. But Crim's Baron I mean, at this point, when we get back to live, it's going to be out. But it's, there's still, at least they got one Baron. They got a little bit of something out of it. They didn't lose everything. Because they could have lost everything. If he'd gone down 2, like, that probably could have been, maybe not game, but they could have lost a Nexus turret for that, I think. But back to more of what's going on right now. So, Zeri, everything is on the Zeri right now. If you are the side of YUBI, what is your team fight plan here? Do you just send the Zeri berserking forward, or do you just kind of try to fight this front to back, despite having those items back, getting onto her right now?
I mean, the big goal for the team fights or how YUBI needs to play, it's all going to be about spacing. They need to play their ranges, not allow any quick engages, and really try to outrange this Victor mostly, because you're not going to be able to outrange the Jinx, and get as much damage onto these shorter range engage threats, which is going to be the Viego, and the Gnar. If they drop early into the fight, I mean, you just have so much utility coming out through this Zillion that is going to allow Jeff God to clean up the rest. So just play your ranges, maintain spacing, and don't allow easy CC to land on one of your high priority carries. And I mean, Jeff God has basically all the tools he's going to need to be able to carry at this point, as we're still waiting for Jinx to get that really last item that is going to make her so potent.
Yeah, and they're sieging up the turret right now, trying to break open the base. They still have so much siege material. That Jinx does so much damage to the turret. We got to remember here, she is a very fed Jinx, and she does have armor pen now, so she's going to tear through this front line pretty quickly. But 1:50 until the Dragon Soul. That's going to probably be the next big fight for these teams, unless something breaks out right here. Utility Monster seems to be looking for it. This bear smells the honey. There are no bees on this team, but he's still smelling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, where he's going to find this engage and who he's going to choose to engage on with the flash coming in.
Oh, he's going for it for a rear, but he's so far from his team. He's going to have to back out right there. It's lucky didn't collapse on him. But they get the flash out of Utility Monster, so that won't be available in the next fight. Nothing really to show for it, though, except this nice, yummy blue buff, and probably going to take this bottom turret, too. So the siege is on. Oh, there's a bee. We got the bees. That's the bee he's smelling.
Absolutely extremely aggressive on the side of Utility Monster, not getting much out of that engage, burning his flash also. And then this is another really aggressive angle to be pushing this tier 2 tower with so much being able to come over. This could easily open up into a fight, so they're going to need to be concerned now that not a slow bro is walking over. I'm sorry.
Now you're all good, no worries. We see the super minions pushing into the top lane. Slowbro's got to go answer that. They can still let this dragon go over. It's only going to put YUBI onto soul point. It isn't the soul yet, so they still have some time, but YUBI looking for a trap here. Looking to maybe spring it. No one from seems to be taking the bait, but Civilok is here. He does see one. Oh, a bomb does not land in time to stop Nietsny, but they are going to get the dragon, I think, off that. There's only 10 seconds till it comes up. No one really on in position to challenge for this. Free dragon for YUBI. Unless, the Jake's Rocket steals it. That would be impressive.
And important too, that's why Red is standing where he is. This is where the Drinks office will run. He's clearly trying to block it to prevent any form of steal from hyper long range. And I mean, as long as the soul doesn't get pulled over, this is a good avenue to stall out the game for the side of YUBI, as they are continuously trying to maintain their advantage and come back a little bit into this game. They are still behind, but they managed to cede a lot of control from Team All, who have been kind of scared to make any more plays after that last Baron fight.
Yeah, after the Baron fight went bad, like you said, very scared to make a plays. They're playing more reactively. They seem to be a little tilted from that happening, but now Utility Monster going forward, knocks the turret down, looking for a target right here, getting destroyed pretty quickly, gonna get blown up by Slowbro, but down goes Oriri, the throwback going there. Jeff God going on a rampage right now. Fight just breaking out everywhere. Civilok gonna have to go rezzing for Jeff. Jeff getting back up, goes back over the wall. Down goes Red, down goes Bill, and now they're on the hunt. Nietsny and Vionis trying to find something. A 1-4-3 in favor of
Yeah, absolutely. Really aggressive fight, trying to go for the backbreaker ender, but I mean, you guys are not far enough ahead for where diving a tower is going to be advantageous. You saw as soon as Team All was able to reconsolidate their line, the entities getting back from base and getting so much damage out. I mean, the team fight just instantly went into the opposite direction, but now they're going to be trying to two-man this Baron, and I do not think this is seen on vision, so this is just going to be a free Baron take from the side of Team All.
Oh, they do see it on the ward right now. Jeff trying to come over, but he's got a 1v3 this. They did get the turret there, so Civillock is trying to put some pressure. I don't think Jeff's going to be able to stop this. Baron is going to go over to the side of Oz, so they're going to get this one. They're going to get to keep it this time, and it's just going to be a setup for a siege. You know, YUBI, they guess they got a little, like we said, Aw being kind of scared after that last Baron fight. YUBI getting a little too confident there. Diving the turret. They do take it, at least. I mean, that's good, so if they get back there, they can just take that inhibitor, but you don't want to give up the lead that you clawed back that lead so close, and now to let that kind of slip a little bit, it's just got to be more cautious with the play. You know, Utility Monster can't go that far forward, especially now that Jinx has Lord Doms. It's pretty much guaranteed, unless he has follow up, that she's going to just blow him up immediately in that fight. But we're getting to this late game point, 4 or 5 items on most champions right now. I think this next one, I think this could be the game deciding fight. I think it's going to be, if not on a push, I think it's going to be around this Soul coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. 30 minutes on the Soul, 40 minutes on the clock. A Baron buff push in the eyes of Team All. They're trying to get an inhibitor at the very least to give them some pressure and spacing for this Soul coming up, and then most likely the Elder. So this Baron is going to tell us a lot about the game. I honestly think that this is going to be Team All's best chance to win, using the advantage that they have right here. So it's going to be really on how well Jeff God can play, because he is the massive threat that needs to be taken out. But if he drops early, these team fights are going to always go into the advantage of All.
Yeah, he's got to be able to stay alive. He's playing aggressive. A little nervous, but I guess he can. He does have Civillock to kind of keep him going. He's got the speed boost. He's got the ult to keep him alive. But they're losing turrets around the map, losing this top turret right now. Only one outer turret remains. One for each team, actually, right now, as looks like they might try to start something right here, just clearing the wave out. Jeff looking to maybe get a pick here. Nietzsche getting a little chip down. The spread coming out from that Hurricane is pretty damaging if you're not expecting it. It can do quite a bit of work, especially with how fast Zeri can fire. It's just slow wait. They're waiting for the next wave. Aw trying to push through, trying to crack the top side of the map, trying to crack an inhibitor here to draw, knowing that if they do, they can draw YUBI away for this upcoming dragon. They can get themselves a pretty free soul and maybe put an end to this game. So it's going to be up to YUBI right here to make something happen. Nietzsche is taking even more damage right here. Crim's on the side, going to try to take this mid turret. Telemon's trying to answer. It does go down. The base has been cracked. The inhibitor not going to fall, though. It's going to stay up top. They're backing up right now. I think Oz got what they wanted. They got a turret. They have an avenue to win this if they get a fight. And now they're getting ready for this dragon in 40 seconds.
Yep, really smart on the side of Team All. 40 seconds, getting a full reset out. Everyone's going to get back to base, buy items, get pink wards, get everything they're going to need to fight this next fight. And as you can see, 8-1 and 6 Jinx, completely full build. Every item she's going to need to take this next fight. And with both AD carries being completely online, we're really going to see how well they're going to be able to play and who's going to be able to get the masses damage out. But if you consider how strong Victor is also, there's a lot of threats to be aware of, as Utility Monster is going to go in onto Slowbro.
Yeah, he's kind of pushing Slowbro out there. They want space on this dragon. Nietzsche getting the vision down, trying to find some space. Red trying to buy some space himself. Ooh, but taking a little bit of damage right there from that one rocket. It could be dangerous as Slowbro, Crims does get hit. Oriri going in, trying to get the knock-up stun. Utility Monster goes in, dunks onto Oriri, but goes down in the process. Now the fight is on in the middle right there. Crims getting stunned up. Red going forward, gets one. Zeri picking up another. 2 for... it is 3. It's 3 for 2 right now in favor of YUBI in this fight. Nietzsche and Viana trying to see if maybe they can go back into this. A good play coming out there from YUBI. Utility Monster finding such a good catch for himself. And Red, too. I want to call out that ultimate gets the catch, gets the kill, and flash forward just to get him off a stun. And oh, Nietsny getting very, very low right here. Got to run away. The bomb is on him. He is going down, and the Zarya actually going to snipe him through the wall. Shut down going over to Jeff God here as YUBI manages to secure the soul for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Big mistake on the side of Nietsky. Just assuming he was going to die to the bomb, stopped walking, didn't continue to move. He wasn't stunned up or anything, so that did also eventually lead to his death anyway. So a big kill giving over for basically no reason. The fight was over. Dragon was going to give up. It was going to be given up. Soul being collected by YUBI. So, I mean, that advantage could be all they needed to really collect up the rest of this game. YUBI has managed to stabilize and get to the point where their team composition is really difficult to deal with the zillion speed and with Zeri already being as fast as humanly possible. So Jeff God has been playing immaculately, unable to be punished, getting the autos out, making the AoE damage spread onto basically all the targets possible. And if you look at his health bar right now is just massive. He's really difficult to kill, and it's going to be really difficult to one-shot him. It's going to be up to this Victor, honestly, to be the big pressure point, as Jinx has been unable to really find significant continuous auto attacks onto him.
Yeah, and Jinx is full build at this point. Unless she sells the boots, I guess Jinx isn't getting any stronger. This is her peak in the game. So, you know, like you said, it's up to Nietsny. He's gonna have to find a play, gonna have to maybe get some burst and destroy the Zeri. You know, we questioned earlier in the game, can a Zeri do enough damage on her own to be able to carry this team with this comp? And, you know, like right now, the answer is looking like a yes, as Baron is gonna come up right here. It's gonna be, I think, pretty free unless decides to rotate over. I don't think they realize what's going on. Oh, no, they are pinging. They are rotating over. Red going to try to sandwich them from behind. Civillock buying space with the bombs. Riri gets the ward down. YUBI just going to back off. They don't want to throw it again. They don't want to pull another bot side turret play. And they're just going to save this for another day. As puts the pressure on the mid lane, trying to catch something right here. But YUBI coming into the side, a flanking maneuver, ult coming through from Build a Pony, knocking him up. Civillock going forward, gonna get almost taken down, gets the ult onto himself. Utility Monster in the back line, going golden. Resurrection coming for Crims. Fiona gonna take down Utility Monster. Red got a run right now. This fight going very well for Red getting even lower. They have the inside track, but Jeff is here. Jeff is firing. There's so many low members on the side of Jeff's gonna pick up one, goes godlike, going for a second, gonna take out Crim's, gonna get a triple kill for himself on it. No, he's not gonna get the quadra, but is he gonna? Here he is, a quadra kill going over to Jeff on the Zeri, and YUBI turns the fight around and manages to get the ace. And I think they're gonna try to pressure to end the game right here.
Yeah, absolutely smurfed on, baby. Jeff God playing way too good and collects up the entire team fight basically by himself. No one's able to kill him. YUBI away with all that movement speed and everything that's going to be taken down. This is going to be the game. The YUBI is going to have the Nexus Towers with no one else in reprisal. So fantastic comeback for YUBI and really disappointing loss for all.
Yeah, you can put the cat down, but you can't keep it. It's got the 9 lives, and the YUBI uses those 9 lives to come back and take the win over to hold on to their undefeated record for this season. Fantastic game. Fantastic from both these teams. This was exciting to watch, I think, from start to end. Really solid early game, but a couple mistakes around objectives, a couple fights they just weren't ready to take or didn't respect the Zeri, flanking potential on, and it just unfortunately goes the other way. 23,000 gold on this area at the end of the game. My goodness, so much work from Jeff being put into this match.
Yeah, what a fantastic game. And before we go to break, I mean, this comment is so good. I just need to read it out loud so everyone sees. Long ago, the top 4 teams lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when YUBI attacked. And I'm not reading the rest of it because that would be cringe. But what a fantastic game for YUBI as Jeff God really showed up. And honestly, it's astounding to see how well he was able to play this Zeri and show that she probably shouldn't be permabanned, especially in the late game. Way more impressive than I would have thought. So, I mean, I don't even think anyone wants to hear from us anymore. I think they want to see the interview as soon as possible.
Yeah, indeed. I'm excited to hear the interview too.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here for our second interview tonight, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff God Gamer, out of the bot lane of YUBI. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's one of those games where after the game ends, your hands are still tingling, so it's always a banger when we play against our Riri's teams.
Yeah, it was certainly a sweaty game, and we'll talk about the tempo of that game. But first, let's talk about the draft coming into this game, and something that is a cause of discussion amongst the community is the Jinx and the Zeri, which has been a tale in pro play and it's shown up here in our first 2 days of friend or foe. You folks opt into, you both handshake, gentleman's agreement, so to speak, on letting the Jinx and the Zeri through. You end up with the Zeri. What are your thoughts on the draft that you folks had put together and what you're up against?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty smart draft from Josh. We picked Zeri and we picked a bunch of champions that go with Zeri. Seeing that Riot isn't nerfing either Zeri or Jinx, this is probably going to be the meta till like the second half of the round robin, or the second round robin, since next patch isn't until the end of March. So I think we're ready to see this matchup a lot. I'm excited to see if teams opt for the handshake to ban both Jinx and Zeri, because I would definitely be excited to play other champions. But overall, it was a pretty good draft. Special shout out to Josh's first strike volley bear. It got a full like 400 gold that game, so really good.
Nice. Let's talk about this game. It was a bit of a slug match between you two, and it went back and forth. It looked like it was slipping out of your grasp, and then before you know it, it's a triple kill. So talk to me a little bit about this tempo in the game and how you folks are feeling.
Yeah, well, it's really good that no one on my team really wants to give up super easily. Even when we're down like 10 kills, the team mental is, we still scale. Let's plan around our power spikes. Let's start prepping for these dragons and seeing what we can do to get ourselves back into the game. So we just sort of felt like even though we were behind, we still felt like we never were fully out of the game. And I think generally in terms of the FF competition, we're sort of the best at not losing when we get behind early.
And speaking of that, this is the second game in the first 2 days that you folks have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. What do you think that says about YUBI? Are you cause for concern, or it's just growing pains?
I think at this point in this season, we're definitely still in the limit test phase, where we're still all getting used to playing with each other. I think this is game number 5 or 6 with the full roster, so we're definitely still getting used to each other. And I just think even when we lose these early games, we're confident in each other that we can bring these games back.
All right, right on. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations on the 2 wins through the first week. Before we step away, though, any final thoughts you'd like to leave with us on the desk?
Yeah, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Bill and Red specifically. Their desire to improve has been absolutely insane, and it's definitely rubbing off on the rest of the team to improve. So even though we lose Brian and Freelancer, we still are really confident with this roster. Playing with them is a blast, and we really should do our best.
Right on. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Folks, we do have one more game for tonight, so after a short break, we'll be back with Game 4, so don't go away.